Okay, so again, let's welcome everyone to the second conversation with Florida Southern College basketball. Tonight's session is brought to you by the Lake Myrtle Center for Advanced Dentistry. They have been a longtime partner of ours at Florida Southern. Great company. They can be reached directly at 863-662-9973. Again, that's the Lake Myrtle Center for Advanced Dentistry at 863-662-9973. As we begin tonight's conversation, let me remind everyone that current NCAA rules and regulations prohibit prospective student athletes or their parents or legal guardians from participating in this call. If anyone fits into one of those categories, we kindly ask that you please remove yourself from this call immediately, lest you potentially jeopardize your ability to participate in intercollegiate athletics here at Florida Southern. Tonight's session is meant to be exactly what it is called, a conversation with Florida Southern College basketball. So for the next 40 to 45 minutes or so, we'll focus on that. Some very positive topics, a lot of ground to cover here. There are some pieces that we will not be covering tonight, that being the college's return to campus plan, the repopulation plan. Quite simply, we're talking about basketball. So we'll start tonight with, let's introduce our head coaches, our head women's coach, Betsy Harris, our head men's basketball coach, Mike Donnelly. And we have two very special guests on tonight's call who you'll hear more from a little bit later on. Class of 2019, Camille Giardina, and from the men's basketball team from the alums, Tyler Kelly, class of 2015. So we certainly want to welcome both of them onto the call. Again, we'll hear more from them in a little bit. First, let's begin with Coach Betsy Harris, who will give us an update on the women's program.
Hey, everybody. First off, I just want to thank Chris and Al for putting this together. Of course, they do a lot of things that people don't know that they do. And, of course, the support of our administration. And just want to thank you guys for being on here tonight. I'm not sure if I have anything new to tell you since the last time that we spoke. But just to say, our season's supposed to start November 21st. Again, that's still up in the air. We're not quite sure. We only have 20 games, which are our conference games. So we just want to play. We don't care when it is. We just want to be able to have a season. The next thing is we do have two players on campus right now. We were able to get China's on campus, and, of course, Martimo, who flew in from Norway. Our international students are gradually coming back. We still have yet to know if our Polish twins are going to be able to make it back yet. So they may have to drive to another country to fly out of that country just to come here. But Poland is not letting anybody in or out right now. And our roster is pretty much the same. Nothing has changed. We're excited about getting them here on campus, especially the three freshmen that we have. Really excited about them. They should have a great 4 years here. And, of course, Sonia, our JUCO point guard from Belarus. She's already in the States. Actually, she's on the beach somewhere in Florida last time I heard. So we're excited about getting her. And we really don't have – the only new alumni update that we have is Mercedes Claiborne, who actually graduated with Camille. She got the head coaching job at Fort Walton Beach High School. She is a biology teacher there, and she actually graduated from Fort Walton Beach. She was the assistant there. She's the head now, and her head coach is the athletic director. So we're really proud of her to be able to get a position like that so soon in her career. The other thing is, last thing we have is just community service. We're not sure what we're going to do with our community service this year when it comes to visiting, but I have talked to Noah's Ark, which a lot of you all know that we work with Noah's Ark a lot. They come to the game. they sit behind us, but we've decided to start a pen pal program with them so that we can all still stay involved. So we're really excited about doing this with Noah's Ark. And I always get updates from Mitchell, for those that know Mitchell from Noah's Ark. About 3 times a week, he lets me know what's going on over at Noah's Landing. But I wish I had more to tell you all. We're just ready for the kids to get back. I'm sure you all have questions, and Mike and I will be glad to answer those questions. But we're just really ready to get our team back. We have not seen them in 5 months, and this is the longest we've gone without seeing them. So, we're really wanting to get them back and just kind of go from there. And, we just, again, like I said last time, we just have to stay positive with the kids and with everybody around us, and just hope that things happen the way that we hope it does. And we're just hoping that we can practice. We're hoping that we can play.
Thank you, Coach. Now, before Coach Donnelly, Betsy brought up a great point. If anyone has questions that you want to ask of our coaches or of our alumni guests, there's a chat feature. Feel free to ask your question through the chat. Al Green will be monitoring that chat. He'll probably answer a few of the questions if possible in there. And of course, at the end, as we have questions, we'll certainly ask them, but everything will go through the chat, please. It just makes it a lot more manageable. So we thank Al for monitoring that. With that said, Coach Donnelly.
Hope everyone is doing well. It's great to see everyone. Chris, thank you for putting this together with Al Green. You guys do a great job. Good to see Tyler Kelly on the call. Tyler graduated in 2015, and looking forward to hearing him talk and catching everyone up to what he's been doing over the last few years. But I'm glad he was able to get on the call tonight. Kind of like Betsy, there's not a ton of updates with us. We're like all of you, meaning we're just taking things day to day for the most part. It's a fluid situation, as you know. I'm just, kind of relieved and also excited that the school has allowed both, women's basketball and men's basketball to come back to campus, to take classes on campus and to move in. And, we're looking forward to getting back to relatively normal, hopefully sooner rather than later. Our preseason schedule is kind of up in the air at this point in terms of, when exactly we're going to start. And as coaches, I'm sure Coach Harris will say the same thing. That's a little unsettling because, by this time, this time of year, we would have our preseason schedules all set, and we'd be ready to go. And actually, we were supposed to start class today on August 18th. And then, we've been pushed back to September 1st. But that's just kind of the reality of the situation right now. Like, our staff has been busy, more or less just, kind of stay in touch with our guys every day to make sure that, they're ready to move back on campus, having all their paperwork in, which is really important. They have to get a COVID test, which is extremely important to allow them to move on campus. And our guys are going to have some adjustments in the first semester with their housing assignments. So that's kind of, from an administrative standpoint, what we've been doing. That's kind of what we're focused on at this point. And basketball is kind of taking a back seat. And that will take a back seat till our guys get to campus. And once when we get our guys on campus, then we can get everyone cleared, ready to go, hopefully. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the safety and health procedures that we're going to have to follow. And that will take precedence even over like our team standards and expectations, because, that's something that we're going to have to take very seriously, obviously. But once when we get through that in a couple weeks, it'll be back to hopefully business as usual. And we can't wait to get on the court. Betsy and I talked maybe, half an hour ago before this call, and we were saying we have not seen our guys in, 5.5 months. We have not been on the floor with our guys, and both of our programs just can't wait to get going, to get started to build for this new season. I think our guys are doing a really good job from from afar, from what we can tell, with staying in shape. We won't know until we get everyone out on the court in terms of where they are with their conditioning, but we do have to give them the benefit of the doubt because they haven't played in 5.5 to 6 months. But there is a standard that we've set, and the guys know that they have to come back to campus in good shape, and we'll be demanding, and we'll condition our guys to get ready, like I said, for hopefully a promising season. At this point, that's kind of how, like I said, that's kind of how we're taking things, and it's just day by day, and making sure our guys are as comfortable as possible, because this is a stressful time, and our guys have gone through a lot of changes over the last few months, and I know they have some anxiety and things like that. So again, that's kind of where we are from a program standpoint, just getting our guys comfortable, getting them settled, and then getting back to doing the things that we love to do, which is to get on the court and prepare for our season. We got in terms of kind of give you a quick player update. I'll just kind of go off of what happened to us yesterday with two of our guys. One is a returner, Jalen Hinton. Coach Mack and I were leaving the office yesterday. It was about 6:30, and Jalen was on the soccer field. Jalen was conditioning, doing sprints on the soccer field. So as a coach, that was great to see. Jalen, we expect to have a great senior season. We expect him to be one of the better players in the conference, and then he has a chance to be one of the better players in the country. So he's in great physical condition. So it was great to see him on the soccer field. And then I got a text late last night from a trainer in New Hampshire, one of our new guys, Max Curran, who's a transfer from UMBC. He's been working out with this particular trainer, and the trainer said he's doing a great job working out 5 days a week. So to get that text late night, was pretty satisfying. Good to hear two guys that we're going to really rely on for this upcoming year. And then, like I said, everyone else we know has been, working out and trying to stay in shape, and, excited to get back on campus. From a scheduling standpoint, it's kind of wait and see. We're not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're, hoping for the best. And like Coach Harris said, the first conference date is November 21st. And as of right now, that's where we're heading. We're heading to play Barry. So that's kind of how things are right now. From a community service standpoint, we did kick off this past Saturday this weekend with the community service event. Myself and Coach Langston, Coach Mack, my two assistants, along with our trainer and the men's soccer coach, we went to Lakeland Powell, and we started a really strong relationship with Lakeland Powell, and we're going to do a lot of community service throughout the year in the Lakeland community. And that's something that Betsy, her team, does a phenomenal job with community service, and that's a thing with us that we really want to make sure that we're doing a better job connecting and staying, having our guys getting involved in the community. So we're, obviously really excited about that. And then a quick update with our alumni. Of course, Tyler's going to talk in a few minutes. Kevin Capers. Kevin signed a professional contract to play in Hungary. He will be playing in the first division, and I believe Kevin left on Saturday. So he's over there now, probably quarantined and getting ready for his season. So obviously that's very exciting for Kevin and for the program. Bubby Johnson, who played with Tyler in 2015 on that national championship team. Bubby coached last year with Coach Darner up at Green Bay, and now he's the assistant women's coach at University of Charleston in West Virginia. So that's great news for Bubby. Ben Morello, who graduated in 2018. Ben just signed a contract to play in Spain. So we're really excited about Ben. This will be the second year for Ben to play professionally. Last year he played in Austria and in Ireland. So it's great to see Ben, continue his basketball career. And John Lawton. John's been around on campus for the last probably 6 weeks training. He was training a lot with Kevin Capers, so it was good to see both Kevin and John in the gym training. John's just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen with his next basketball opportunity. And then same with Jack Roush and Brett Hansen. Both those guys have signed with agents, and they're kind of just waiting and seeing what type of professional opportunities are going to come their way. So it's all good with the basketball program. Like I said, it's great to see everybody. I know everyone on this call is just like us. Like, we can't wait to get going. So I'm just thankful for everyone's support, and I can't wait to see everybody back on campus soon.
Great. Thanks, Mike. Again, if anyone has any questions for the coaches, please feel free to use the chat feature. Certainly all questions are welcome. With that said, we will move right along to our Guests, first and foremost, a lot of you certainly will remember Camille, class of 2019. In Camille's career, she scored over 1,900 points. She is third in school history. She, of course, was an All-American, was the Polk County Female Collegiate Athlete of the Year, and in her senior year was the Lois Webb Award winner for the Florida Southern Female Athlete of the Year. So at this point, we will invite Camille to share with us some of her experiences, what she's been doing since graduation, and a little bit of how Florida Southern has prepared her for that. Camille?
Hi, everyone. So I've been all over the place. So I went to Italy upon graduation in August. So I was there this time last year. And I went there as an American, and there were no Americans allowed to play. So I was doing dual citizenship. So I was over there for a few months. I actually ended up tearing my knee while I was over there. And then my papers took longer than I imagined. We were pushing the deadlines. You're only allowed 3 months before you have to leave the country in order to stay. So I came back, and then as soon as I was about to go, the virus broke out. So kind of got trapped here, and they ended up postponing the season over there and then having to cancel the rest of it. So I was fortunate that I did not go over. It was about if I would have left 1 week earlier, had my flight 1 week earlier, I would have got trapped over there. But I was fortunate to be here, and then in that time since they canceled season, I've been trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was training kids on the side, along with just working out, and unsure of if I wanted to play. And my team won the second division over there, so they moved up to A1. And they asked me, along with like 3 other players, back for this season. So I just decided a few weeks ago that I'm going to return for this upcoming season, which is now going to start in October. They weren't sure of when the season would start and all the details because of the virus. But Italy was pretty bad at first, and now they've recovered. So in about a few weeks, I most likely will go back over there, and we'll start up with everything and whatnot. So I'm not sure all the details, if they'll make us quarantine. They're trying to waive that for the foreigners, just make us do a test over there. So hopefully that's the case. And let's see, I'd say my playing career at Florida Southern has helped me in numerous ways. A big one being it made me a goal-oriented person. So with us being a very successful program, and Coach Harris always pushing us and never to be content pretty much, it made me realize I need to set goals and just focus on one at a time and try my best to achieve that, no matter the sacrifice, the time, the hard work. So I'm fortunate for that, along with the fact, like I just mentioned, I realized in order to succeed, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. So in college, Coach Harris had us in the gym, weight room, and then along with community service to then academics. So I had to sacrifice my social life, my family time, all of that. And I pretty much brought that overseas with me, sacrificing my family, time like that. And then hand in hand, I'd say that makes you have to like really organize your schedule. So with the time difference and all of that, I was pretty much booked. I had to stay up super late in order to communicate with my family, friends, and just time management, essentially. I was pushed to my fullest in college with Coach Harris, so I've definitely carried that over with me into the real world. And that's kind of me right now, getting ready to go over, preparing.
Good for you. Now, you mentioned that you are indeed going to go back over. I imagine you're excited about the opportunity to continue playing.
Yes, I am.
Good for you. Good for you. Again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to add them in the chat. We will move on to Tyler Kelly, to Coach Kelly. Um, Now, and again, Tyler is a lot of you will remember him from the 2015 National Championship team. Since then, he has gone into a career in coaching. You may remember that he coached here at Florida Southern before moving up to Wisconsin Green Bay, and now he is at Lemoyne College up in Syracuse, where he helped lead the Dolphins to a 19-9 record this past year. And much like Florida Southern, a berth into the NCAA tournament that, of course, wasn't played. So with that being said, Tyler, let's unmute you. And take it away.
Well, thanks everybody for hopping on the call, and thanks for having me. Chris kind of stole my entire introduction there, so I don't really know what else I can say. But just to kind of reiterate what he was saying, currently I'm the assistant coach at Lemoyne College, and I'm working with Nate Champion, who all you guys know is a former assistant at Florida Southern. And last year we finished 19-9. Had a really good year, especially for Nate's first year. We were really proud of our guys. And we were the 5th seed heading into the NCAA tournament. That obviously didn't happen. But before that, I was director of basketball ops at Wisconsin Green Bay for Coach Darner, obviously the coach that I played for, which was a great experience. You know, I learned so much about running a program and everything kind of behind the scenes that goes into running a program, especially at the Division I level. So that was an awesome experience for me. I was there for 3 years and then came here to Lemoyne. And obviously before that, I was there for a year at Florida Southern, working under Coach Donnelly and Coach Mack. You know, I don't like to be proud of that was their worst year, that was the year that I was coaching there. So I'm just glad that they got it back on track and started winning some more games. So I'm proud of them. Florida Southern and you know, winning a national championship at Florida Southern really kind of, you know, jump-started my career, obviously with Coach Darner getting a new job and bringing in Coach Donnelly. And, you know, I was fortunate enough to work for him his first year there and, you know, try to kind of bridge the gap between the new players and the new staff. And, you know, I learned a ton from Coach Donnelly and Coach Mack. And, you know, just Florida Southern and all, you know, overall just kind of taught me that, you know, sacrificing myself for a bigger goal. You know, I try to carry that with me all the time. You know, not all the time I wanted to take a back seat to Kev on the court, but, you know, at the end of the day, Kev was getting it done, and that led to wins for us. And, you know, I think everybody on our team really sacrificed a lot, and we obviously achieved the biggest goal that you can achieve. So that was huge. I learned a lot of that at Florida Southern, and overall the winning culture at Florida Southern with the men's basketball program and FSC as a whole, you know, it showed me the way that program should be run. And I kind of carried that with myself. You know, each program that I've been to is really, that's what I judge it off of. That's what I base, you know, where I'm at off of. You know, FSC really set the standard, you know, on how programs should be run and how athletic departments should be run. So it's really a cool thing to see. I tell Coach Donnelly and Coach Mack, you know, all the time how fortunate they are to be there. And a lot of that is just because, you know, the continuous support from all of you guys. You know, you guys do a great job supporting the program. That's not like that anywhere. You know, a lot of other Division II schools, I can tell you that much. So yeah, that's really where I'm at right now, and all the kind of things that I, you know, took from Florida Southern.
Now, what was it that led you to a career in coaching?
I think a part of it was the relationship that I built with Coach Darner. You know, just getting close with my coach. I just kind of being in the office and watching film with him and breaking down stuff like that. I really enjoyed all that stuff. And I wasn't as good as Camille. So my career overseas, I wasn't making very much money. So I decided I should just hop into coaching right away and do that.
That's awesome. Good for you. And so this past year, how was it for you guys? Obviously qualifying for the NCAA tournament and then not being able to go.
It was tough. We just got done with practice, and we were sitting there getting ready to get on the bus and head out to go to the tournament. And our administrators, you know, came down and said, "Hey guys, you know, hold off on it. Don't leave just yet." And then we probably got, you know, word 30 minutes later that they were canceling the tournament, and, you know, kind of the season was just kind of over. So everybody was just kind of sitting there didn't really know what was going to happen. And we allowed our guys to end up leaving and go home that night.
Well, interesting. It's always interesting as, to hear the different stories from different coaches and different programs. And, I know, certainly as both Coach Harris and Coach Donnelly can attest, being in that similar situation where, Coach Harris was already in Tennessee and we were ready to host here. Certainly not easy, but, unfortunately it just kind of is what it is. But, so Tyler, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, if anyone has any questions for the coaches or for our guests, please feel free to enter them in the chat window. Okay, we will, in that case, quick question for our head coaches. Certainly with everyone coming back and team workouts set to begin, kind of what is, with everything being up in the air, what are the plans in terms of trying to prepare your teams, both physically as well as mentally, for what may be happening this fall?
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, you jump in there, Betsy. Go ahead.
Going first. You're always much better the second time. Honestly, I've looked at so many different things on what we're going to do, but it's really hard to decide on what we're going to do when we don't know what exactly or when we're going to be able to do it. So it's just a little frustrating, but as far as I know, we're only going to be allowed to do individuals. I don't think we're going to be able to do team stuff. So the biggest thing with us is just trying to get the girls in shape. And then that's the first thing. And the basketball is just kind of secondary, to be honest. Just because, the team that lasts the longest is the one that's going to be able to win. So, I hope this is the team that's in the best shape that I've ever had here at Florida Southern. And Camille's going to laugh at that because her first 3 years with me were pretty tough. Her senior year, she could take a little bit off. So Camille, I may need you to talk to these girls just so they understand how your first 3 years were out of the 4. But again, it's hard to really answer any questions about that. We're just going to right now just, get them in the best shape that we can.
And I think with us, Chris, we kind of stagger how we schedule our preseason normally. So we kind of start off with mostly just individual workouts and weight training and some conditioning. We usually don't get into team workouts until later in September, or sometimes depending on where we are with our team. Sometimes we don't start until, October 1 with some team workouts. The big thing with us is, we put a lot of emphasis on our guys playing pickup, and we get to watch our guys doing that. And we learn a lot about our team in the preseason. So that's really what I'm hoping. And hopefully, by the time the guys get to campus in a couple of weeks, we'll have a better idea of what we can do as a group. But we know we can definitely condition the guys. We know we can definitely get them in the weight room, and we know we can get them on the floor and start training these guys individually, which is extremely important for their skill and conditioning. But with us, we are losing a lot from last year's team, even though I think we have a chance to have another special year. But we're going to put a lot of emphasis on team building. That's going to be big. And we've talked about that all summer with our guys. We're going to have to, this is a unique situation, and we're going to have that. We're going to have to have great leadership, and we're going to have to really focus and work on our team chemistry to get to where we want to go. I think TK can attest to this. The reason why they won the national championship in 2015 is they had an unbelievable bond amongst themselves, and they had great team chemistry. Same with Coach Harris's teams over the last 5 years since I've been here at Florida Southern. Us last year, we had great team chemistry. So that's going to be important for us to work on in the preseason, on top of, being on the court with them as well.
Great, thank you. Al, I believe there's a question in the chat.
Hey, we have a couple of things, couple of comments. First of all, good evening, everybody. It is great seeing you guys. I miss all of you. I can hardly wait to get back into the room and update you on what's happening. And I'll give you some updates at the end of the session. A couple of great comments on the women's relationship with Noah's Ark. It has been an awesome, long-time relationship. For those of you that live in Lakeland or in the area, if you go to First Friday, Noah's Ark generally has a booth, and they sell dog treats, they sell handmade items. So stop off, talk to Michael, Coach Michael, who is Coach Harris's right-hand man when it comes to coaching in reality. Megan, we know you're technically the first assistant, but I think Michael's number one. Anyway, for Camille, we've had several people want to wish you the best, and they all felt that you were an awesome individual. I will agree with that. Here's a question for Camille.
Okay.
When you're overseas, and also for TK, when you're overseas and you're playing overseas, do you learn the language? Do you pick up something other than the cuss words?
Honestly, I was obligated to learn the language because there was no other Americans and I was in a smaller city, so there was no English like at all. So if I did use English, it was very fragmented and lots of hand gestures, all that. So yeah, I had to learn a bit. I didn't apply a ton of my off time towards learning it, but just being immersed in the culture, I picked up stuff.
Great. TK, what'd you learn?
Yeah, I didn't play overseas, so I didn't have to learn any other language. But in coaching, I can't understand what our guys are saying half the time anyway. So trying to pick up the new slang and make sure I'm staying young.
All right, another question for TK. What was it like during that championship game at halftime? How did Coach Darner fire you guys up to make you go out and win the championship?
Honestly, I think we were pretty self-motivated on that team. I don't know how much he really needed to say to us. And I think honestly, after the Final Four game, beating Bellarmine, I don't really think it was, much on our mind besides kind of winning that championship. I think that took everything out of us to beat Bellarmine. And once we kind of won that Final Four game, there wasn't really anybody that we were going to let stand in our way to kind of go get that win.
Awesome. What was it like in the locker room after the victory?
It was pretty cool. I still have a video on my phone. We were able to dump some water and some Powerade on Coach Darner, and he's not the type to let you do that at all. So he let us do that for that game, and I think we deserved it to do it. But it was pretty cool. It was honestly kind of surreal. I don't think it really set in that we won until probably a month or so down the road. But it was pretty a surreal feeling.
Great. That is it for the questions and comments. I do have a couple of announcements at the bitter end.
Sure. Well, if we have no more questions, I think we can wrap this up, Al.
All right. In that case, for those of you that play golf, our scholarship fundraising golf tournament for basketball will be October 12th. The registration forms should be hitting some of your mailboxes in the near future. If you don't get a registration form, you play golf, you know someone that plays golf, contact me, contact Finley, and we will get you that information. The only way that we can continue winning is to having those scholarships available to bring in good talent. As far as we've gotten a couple of questions already about when is the six-man information going to be sent out, and we're just kind of going to sit back a little bit and wait and see what's going to happen. And as soon as we know, then we'll be able to get that six-man registration and the Fast Break Club registration out to all of you. That's it. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you. If any of the coaches have any last-minute thoughts to add?
Just appreciate everybody being on here. I have to say, thank Megan for everything that she does for the program and for me. Thank you, Megan. Also, Camille. I mean, Camille might be one of the most decorated players to ever come through our program. She's a 5-time All-American. I don't know of anybody else that is that. So I've been very proud of her. I was about tearing up when she was talking. Anytime I get a good word in from a player, it just shocks me. But Camille, really appreciate you, everything that you've done for our program. You made me look really good. Now you're not here, so it's like, I got to get Camille back. But just want to thank her for everything, and thank you guys for all of your support.
Yeah, thank you everyone for your support. To have almost 60 participants on this call tonight is just awesome. It makes our program feel great. I know it makes the women's program feel great as well. Like Tyler said earlier, now he's been around a couple different places in his coaching stops. We know we have a great situation here at Florida Southern, and we're extremely grateful and thankful for all of your support. And we will get back to normal, right? We will get back to normal. We're gonna have a season, and we both plan to have great seasons. So again, thank you for your support. And I also want to thank my assistants, Coach Mack, for jumping on the call tonight, and Coach Greg Langston. Greg was in Connecticut for about 5 months. We thought he was just going to be up there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and it turned out to be a lot longer. But he came back this week, and it's great to have him in the office. And I know our guys are excited to have him back and ready to go for the preseason. And just a quick thanks to TK for jumping on. TK was a great assistant coach for us in our first year. Like he said, he helped bridge the gap, but we were lost when we came down from Connecticut, and he really helped show us the way. And he was a tremendous asset to us, and we've stayed in touch with TK. We built a great relationship with him. We're proud of what he has done. He's got a bright future in this coaching profession. And I think he made the right decision not playing overseas, because he got a jump start to his coaching career, and he'll be a head coach sooner than later. So thanks, TK, and best of luck up there in Syracuse.
Thank you, coaches. And before we go, one last piece. I can think of only one great way to end this call. And at this point, I'm going ahead. I'll go ahead. I've unmuted Z, and I'm going to put him on the spot and see if you're listening. I can think of only one way for us to end this call. You're unmuted, Z. It's all.
Oh, my goodness. Give me an M. Can't hear me.
Wait, Chris, you got to unmute everybody.
Unmute
everybody.
Are we ready?
All right, everybody's unmuted. Or at least we're in the process.
Give me an
M.
M. Give me an O.
O.
Give me a C.
C.
Give me an S. And what do you have?
Mark.
Oh, my goodness. I can't hear you.
Mark.
One more time.
Mark.
All right.
Thank you all very much. And again, thank you to Coach Harris, Coach Donnelly, Camille, and TK. A very special thank you to the two of you for joining us. For Coach Green for keeping track of the chat. And again, thank you to all of you for your caring and your support of Florida Southern Athletics. Everyone, have a wonderful evening, and we will hopefully see you again in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Good, everyone. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Good job, Chris. That went well.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you.